All righty, do. So do we push the button or don't we? No! David!
You got another one.
I do?
Yeah.
Where is it?
The shepherd worship.
The shepherd worship?
Yeah.
Anything but this Oprah thing. Oh, please hurry up, man. Anything but this. Oh, there it is. Okay, shepherd's conference worship. Here we go. There's anything but Oprah, please. Okay.
I know what it is.
What?
When you hear a hymn,
Oh.
especially played by organ, but it doesn't matter what the instruments are,
Right?
the music conveys a reverence
Of course it does.
and a hope that you don't get from the majority of music today. For instance,
See how relevant God is.
there is just a soaring...
There's two aspects of God that we do need to hold in tension. And in evangelicalism, we seem to have nailed the one and forgotten the other. Imminence, wonderful theological term, the nearness of God, that God is indeed a Father who cares. Cast all of your anxieties on Him, for He cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7, Roxella. He is a kind and caring Father. He's a God who is involved in our lives, and He knows when your hair is falling out of your head. Some of you more than others. God is definitely having to do more accounting on your noggins than others. That is true. He is imminent. He is near. But there is another theological term to describe God that we seem to forget about. Transcendence. He's big, and He's lofty, and He's high, and He's holy. So I'm not saying to throw out some of these songs that remind us about the nearness of God, but come on. There's more to the aspect and the nature of God than just He's here, He's close. It's interesting. Now, this, I confess to you, this could be the grass is greener on the other side. It could be. Because almost any church you go to these days doesn't have that. Southern Baptist churches, a lot, they do that. They always try to put together an orchestra, the violins, the horns, and a choir. So I'm not used to hearing this stuff a lot. So it might be grass is greener. But I remember when I was not a Christian, I was a false convert deluxe. And I would hear this stuff. And it, in and of itself, can make your heart soar just because sometimes it's performed so majestically. You can listen to anything on National Public Radio that's like that and do that. But I couldn't sink into this. Now, if I go to an event where they're doing this, enter into it. Oh, you bet I can. Why? Because I'm saved. And He's a transcendent God that I want to worship in fear and in awe with reverence. Back then, it was dead. That's the criticism. Oh, that old style of music. It's people are dead when they're worshiping that. Well, it's only because they're dead. It's not the music. It's the unregenerate. I could just rip into this now. He's imminent and He's transcendent, and this is Way of the Master Radio. Now, in an effort to beat a horse to death,
something we've never done before.
No, well, not since the last segment. Let me just remind you: imminence, transcendence. This would be your transcendent music. He's big, He's high, He's holy, He's unknowable in totality. He's a big God. This would be your casual, a little too casual. I need you to love me.
Why are you still
this case, boyfriend music. Not saying to throw out everything, but let's just remember imminence, high, holy, transcendent. There's both things going on. Let's keep those things in balance, not only in our music, but also in our prayer life. How do we talk to God? Huh?
But I need you to love me.
Hey, Charles! Spurgeon! What do you mind? I know you're busy in heaven right now.
Yes.
But if you could possibly get in here so I could hand you a piece of paper, because remember, we're doing anything we can right now to avoid playing the Oprah, because Charles Spurgeon, here, this is, here, take that one right there. Here's another, wait, here's another one right here. Hold on, take that one also, and I'll find some more for you. Let's see if we can get a hold of Charles Spurgeon.
Just another.
Oops, wrong one. Charles Spurgeon. We were talking about prayer. We planned this days ago. Would you share some thoughts with us on prayer, sir?
Certainly.
Any one of those will do.
A man scarcely needs to be reminded that he must breathe. It is essential to his very life that he should breathe, and it is essential to our spiritual life that we should pray.
Keep going. I found the one I really wanted. Go.
I never thought it necessary to prepare a discourse to exhort you to eat. Neither ought it to be necessary to exhort Christians to pray. If any man thinks that his prayers have any merit in them, every prayer that he presents is an insult to the Lord Jesus Christ. I always feel there is something wrong if I go without prayer for even half an hour in the day.
Wowza. How do you feel if you don't go for a half an hour without prayer? Do you have to set a clock? Do you have to send a little exploding bomb on your computer to remind you, or does it just happen? But just so you know, I need the exploding bomb. Sorry. You know what? I ask God, please help me to pray to you all day, every day. And yet, fail. All right. How do you pray to God? What is your attitude when you talk to God? What are the words you use? Well, remember, imminence, transcendence. Yes, we get to approach the throne of grace, but it's still a throne. Go, Charles.
Let us therefore come boldly before the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need.
Good.
4:16.
Yeah, that'd be it. That's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
If prayer should always be regarded by us as an entrance into the courts of the royalty of heaven, if we are to behave ourselves as courtiers should in the presence of an illustrious majesty, then we are not at a loss to know the right spirit in which to pray. If in prayer we come to a throne, it is clear that our spirit should, in the first place, be one of lowly reverence. In our case, the king before whom we come is the highest of all monarchs, the King of kings, the Lord of lords. My heart, be sure that thou prostrate thyself in such presence. If he be so great, place my mouth in the dust before him, for he is the most powerful of all kings. His throne hath sway in all worlds. Heaven obeys him cheerfully. Hell trembles at his frown, and earth is constrained to yield him homage, willingly or unwillingly. His power can make or can destroy, to create or to crush, either is easy enough to him. My soul, be thou sure that when thou drawest nigh to the Omnipotent, who is as a consuming fire, thou put thy shoes from off thy feet, and worship him with lowliest humility. Besides, he is the most holy of all kings. His throne is a great white throne, unspotted and clear as crystal. The heavens are not pure in his sight, and he charged his angels with folly. And thou, a sinful creature, with what lowliness shouldst thou draw nigh to him? Familiarity there may be, but let it not be unhallowed. Boldness there should be, but let it not be impertinent. Still thou art on earth, and he in heaven. Still thou art a worm of the dust, a creature crushed before the moth, and he the everlasting. Before the mountains were brought forth, he was God. And if all created things should pass away again, yet still were he the same. My brethren, I am afraid we do not bow as we should before the eternal majesty. But henceforth let us ask the Spirit of God to put us in a right frame, that every one of our prayers may be reverential approach to the infinite majesty above.
Before you go, sir, go back to that part where it's, yes, it's about 4 sentences back. Yes, there is closeness or intimacy, but not without reverence. What was that?
Are you talking about familiarity there?
Yeah.
Familiarity there may be, but let it not be unhallowed.
There it is, right there. Yes, we are familiar. Yes, he is our Father, but not an unhallowed. Yes, I know he's our Abba Father. I'm not sure that the point of that is that we're supposed to think of him as our daddy, that we sit on his knee and call him daddy, daddy, daddy. You get a little carried away with that. It's that he's a caring father. He's a loving father. He's a good God. He's a personal God. Evangelicalism has it right with the personal relationship with Jesus Christ part, but not unhallowed, not lowly, not so cash. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Amen.